Hello and welcome to another episode of retrepp.com, the video blog for real estate entrepreneurs. I'm Phil Gilboy, your host. Today I'd like to talk to you about the only 3 ways that any business or professional practice can increase revenues. But before I talk to you about that, I want to give recognition to Jay Abraham, a business and marketing guru from Palos Verdes, California, whose philosophies I have subscribed to for many years. If you're not familiar with Jay, I suggest you check him out at jayabraham.com. So that being said, I want to talk to you about the 3 ways that a real estate entrepreneur can increase revenues. There are only 3 ways. The first is to garnish more customers, and that is an area where all real estate agents focus. That means more farming, more social media, more open houses, more door knocking, more cold calling, whatever it is that you do to create more customers, that's where the focus of most real estate agents is. Now the problem with this is that it costs a lot of time and money. There are also 2 other areas that require attention to increase revenue. The beauty of these is that they require very little expense and effort. The profits from these activities fall directly to the bottom line. And one is to increase the value of every transaction. So how do you achieve this? First, don't cut your commission. When a seller asks you how much your commission is going to be, it really is just a question. It's not an objection. They're not asking you to cut it. So when they ask you that question, just tell them what your fee is. Now, you would ask anybody what their fee is going to be before you told them to start a job for you. So that's all it is. So the first thing you need to do is to preserve your commission. The next is to make money on everything being offered to the seller and the buyer. Now, I will admit this is not Real Estate 101. Most of the people who watch this show are not real estate novices, they're real estate entrepreneurs. So despite popular belief, it is not illegal for a real estate entrepreneur to make revenue on all the ancillary services being offered to the buyer and the seller. There are, however, rules that you must follow to make it legal. First, you must be an owner or a partner in the company offering the service and have real money at risk. Secondly, you must disclose this relationship to your client. Thirdly, you cannot force your client to use your company to buy the services. And fourth and finally, you can only be compensated based on your amount of ownership in the business that you bring to the enterprise. I believe that this is the next wave of the real estate industry, that brokers or joint ventures will create this for the agents so that they have the opportunity to make money on all of the ancillary businesses. Now this is a complex issue that we've made simple with the creation of the real estate settlement consultants. For more information, contact me directly. The goal of this second technique is to increase the revenue to fund your practice to gain more clients. I have a theory that every time you spend $1,000, you ought to get a new real estate client. So if you can get an extra $6,000 from technique number 2 and spend it on your real estate marketing, you're going to get 6 new real estate transactions, which could be anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000 of real estate commissions. So even if I'm wrong by 50% and you can only get half of that, you're going to get 3 new clients, 3 new real estate transactions, and 3 commissions worth somewhere between $30,000 and $45,000. So you take all this extra money with technique number 2 and you fund technique number 1. The third technique to increase revenue is to increase the frequency of transactions. Now, this is kind of difficult in the real estate business because nobody ever calls you and says, hey, I love this house so much that you sold me, sell me another one. So there are some techniques that can be used to increase the frequency of real estate transaction. One is to introduce your people to a program by Larry Kendall of the Real Estate Group in Colorado called A Home for Every Child. Now, this is a technique whereby you buy a house when your child is born and you let the house mature with the child so that when the child is 18 or 20 years old, you're pretty much done paying off that house, and that can be their leg up into life. College money, whatever money they need when they're a young adult. Okay? The second one is to introduce people to how to use their 401k to invest in real estate. Now this is going to be a completely different show, which we'll shoot soon, but you want to either create an investment group or teach people how to use their money. I think most of us, being real estate entrepreneurs, believe that real estate is still the greatest investment that there is. Well, I could go on about these 3 techniques for raising revenue all day. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you'd like to discuss them more with me, please send me an email. We'll be doing a more in-depth look at each of these in future episodes. Thanks again for watching retrepp.com. Until I see you again, take care.